everyone. Looking out here, I know it's true what they say. The future really is female. Yes, that's right, that's right. And it's such a pleasure to be here today with thought leaders from Cleantech and Sustainability, women and men who are thinking about the world's greatest challenges and aren't afraid to put big ideas out there to solve them. And as we know, one of the biggest challenges today is climate change. For the past 5 years, I've been studying ecosystems, how they grow, maintain, and thrive in a fast-paced, changing environment. Oh, but not those ecosystems. Clean energy ecosystems. So in other words, what inputs are needed to grow a renewable energy industry from the bottom up? How can they be successful and competitive in a changing global economy? I'm a policy wonk, and I'm really passionate about this work because our economic engine is going to keep moving forward. But we can ensure that it moves in the right direction, lowering emissions and increasing wages for workers in America. And actually today, this week was my last official week with American Jobs Project. And tomorrow I go on a plane to Kenya for a short-term work assignment. So I thought that today is the perfect day to share some lessons learned after working in 24 different states on clean energy industrial strategy. So, and also, how does this apply to the future of California? So here we go. Number one, just like with gardening, sometimes an industry sprouts on its own because the conditions are right. But other times, an industry needs a little help. Just like a seedling needs a little bit of compost or irrigation, sometimes an industry needs a little government support, maybe some clear local market signals or investments in infrastructure or innovation or workforce. And number two, in the US and in California, policymakers often assume that industries will sprout on their own. And why not? We've got Silicon Valley right here. We've got Hollywood and my favorite industry, the wine industry. But the times are different, and we're still governing and doing economic development the same way. We've got colossal challenges. According to the IPCC, if we stay on course right now, we're set for a global climate catastrophe by 2040. And we're already feeling it right now in California with these fires and the state of emergency that we're in. So we know that our oceans are especially feeling the pressure. Pollution, overfishing, acidification, warming. According to oceanographers across the world, our ocean is soon going to be hot, sour, and breathless, which keeps me up at night and really upsets me, and sometimes I feel a bit hopeless about our situation. But there is hope. There's new ideas, there's new technologies, there's new innovations out there. And here in California, the winds are shifting. In just a couple of years, we could develop at commercial scale floating offshore wind technology. Now, I'm so excited about this because I love offshore wind. This could not only decrease emissions, but it could save ratepayers billions of dollars, support economic growth in areas that need it, and also support grid reliability, which we also need right now in California. And there's a lot of firms worth billions of dollars that want to invest in our state. But there's an issue. Remember our seedling from earlier, how some industries need a little bit of support to grow? Well, offshore wind is kind of like a seedling that needs a little bit of compost and irrigation, but later it'll be a tree that yields a bounty of fruit. Offshore wind needs government support and intervention in order to grow and thrive. And that's old news for the United Kingdom, the world's global market leader. And it's also old news for New York, who's poised itself to lead in the United States with its 9 gigawatt target and offshore wind master plan. But here in California, an industrial strategy for technology is a new idea. And I understand we have a lot of forward-looking climate policies here in California. SB 100, I could go on and on, but this is different. This is a comprehensive strategy to grow a new industry from the bottom up. This includes things like local market signals and investments in infrastructure, workforce development, and innovation. The studies needed to ensure that we're going to develop the ocean responsibly. All of these things need to work together. Experts around the world have said, and they know, that this is what's needed to get offshore wind afloat. And this got me thinking, if we got to put together a plan to make offshore wind a reality, then could we develop other ocean-related industries that have big impacts on the climate? What other industries are out there that are related to offshore wind? Well, one is shipping. Each year, thousands of ships carry trillions of dollars worth of goods across our planet, and they use dirty fuel, bunker oil, which emits methane and carbon dioxide. And if shipping were a country, it would be the world's 6th largest polluter, somewhere between Germany and Japan. If we keep burning bunker oil, by 2050, shipping will produce 15% of the emissions on the planet. But it doesn't have to be this way. There's ideas out there. There's new technologies. There's innovations. We can completely rethink how we do this. Like in Norway. This is the Short Sea Pioneer. Not only does it use liquefied natural gas and energy storage, but it flips how we ship on its head. It's got a larger mothership that goes to major ports, and then a more nimble daughter ship that kind of pops off and visits smaller ports along the route. So cool. And also, who doesn't love a mother-daughter solution? But there's innovations close to home, like right in my hometown of Oakland, California, where they're rethinking how we're going to power these fleets. This is the first commercial-scale hydrogen fuel cell ferry in the world. So we have the ideas, we've got the technology. We could scale this. We could make this a reality here in California. But we need a strategy in order to do so and put this innovation into action. And I think a lot about ocean health. Oops, here we go. I think a lot about ocean health. Earlier, I mentioned how our oceans are soon going to be hot, sour, and breathless. Ocean temperatures are quickly rising, contributing to the displacement and decline of species large and small. Ocean acidification is rampant because of the absorption of CO2. It's bleaching our corals, the rainforest of the ocean that supports a quarter of the life under the sea. For those of you that love the ocean as much as I do, this keeps us up at night. But there's hope. There's new ideas out there. There's new innovations. There's new technologies. Like this one from Bren Smith, 3D ocean farming. This is a low-tech but highly innovative solution where in the small space, clams, oysters, mussels, seaweed are all grown. And in that, we're sequestering carbon, we are restoring ecosystems, and producing food. If we were to farm just 5% of US waters with this system, we could sequester 135 million tons of carbon while also sustainably feeding families across America. That's amazing. And this is something that works with the ocean, not against it. It could also inspire the next generation of fishermen in California, or even provide a solution to those that are adapting to our quickly changing oceans. So we could restore ocean health. We could build this idea, scale this industry up. But we need a strategy in order to do so. California is the world's 5th largest economy. And frankly, we've had a lot of luck with the industries that have flourished here. But luck will only get us so far. Without a statewide industrial strategy, we've got no direction or framework to target the climate-friendly industries that could put us on the cutting edge of saving the planet. The ideas and technologies are right in front of us. But our governor and our legislators got to decide if they're going to use a 20th century strategy to tackle 21st century challenges. And it's more than just an outdated approach. When our current industrial strategy results in climate change, which is the biggest market failure of all time that threatens life on the planet as we know it, not intervening in industrial strategy is a moral failure on the part of the government. But we could make different choices. Let's ride California's next big wave of offshore wind and take it a step further, creating a diversified blue industry strategy that can help us save the planet. Let's not fight the winds of change, but embrace them and innovate the ocean to save the planet. Thank you all so much.